Family is the foundation that makes everything else worthwhile. Tall trees need deep roots. Tending to family means that when times get hard, you rise to it. Both of my parents have been struck by serious illnesses over the past few months, and my brother and I have taken care of them first and foremost. My colleagues were tremendous about stepping in for me as needed in the halls of the United Nations, but no one could step in for me at the hospital. There's usually somebody else who can do your job, but there's nobody else who can be a strong and loving daughter. Some corners you just can't cut. Second, in your focus on career, do not sell short the fulfillment of starting a family, if that is what you wish. I'm honestly not sure when I would have decided that it was finally time to get around to start having kids. When would have been the right time? But luckily, when I was 31 years old and working crazy hours at the National Security Council at the White House, I got pregnant. My husband and I had not exactly planned to have kids just yet, but we knew we wanted a family. When my son was a mere 3 months old, I started working at the State Department. I was not only the youngest Assistant Secretary of State, but I was a breastfeeding mother. I'm the first to admit that this felt crazy at times, and the balancing act is never, ever easy. But my 2 kids are the most wonderful things that have ever happened to me. So if you want a family, get yourself launched, find a worthy partner, build a support network, put some money in the bank, and then get going. Third, follow your passion. Focus on what truly inspires you and fires you up. It's hard to be great at something that you don't love doing. And if you haven't quite found your calling, try something else. When I was your age, I figured I'd grow up to be a public interest lawyer and then perhaps go into politics. I started studying foreign policy as a way to round myself out, not as a career path. And then I got hooked. Sometimes it's the calls we don't expect that become a life's calling. Fourth, bring others with you. If you're lucky, you'll have mentors who will help you along the way. You pay them back by extending your hand to others coming up behind you. As one of my most valued mentors and friends, former Secretary of State Madeleine Albright, often says, there is a special place in hell reserved for women who don't help other women. Fifth, make a real difference. There's nothing wrong with comfort, but you should be about more than money. You should be about getting meaningful things done and making lasting change in people's lives. I know it may not seem this way to you now, but life really is short, and we have urgent problems to deal with. Don't take things for granted. Give back to your communities, to Spelman, to those less fortunate than you, to our country, to people around the world grappling with poverty, conflict, and disease. And finally, be true to yourself and your values. Ambition is fine, but you should never want something so badly that you do something you don't believe in to get it. Never do that. There's no point in service if you're not always trying to do the right thing. If you act with integrity, you won't always win, but you're likely to earn the respect of others, and you will always respect yourself. In conclusion, graduates, I hope you will take this magnificent day as a moment to reflect, to think about what your accomplishments mean to your family and friends, and to think of the lines that you will add to the American story. Ultimately, America is what we make of it. I love our great country, not because it's perfect, but because it is perfectible. I love America not just for the genius of its creation, but for the glory of its ongoing maturation. The American idea is not rooted in complacency or callousness. It's rooted in the belief that we can be better together and do more together. It's rooted in energy, it's rooted in daring, and it's rooted in hope. As I look out at you, I see more than the class of 2010. I see another generation taking its place in the world. I see the generation after Joshua. You grew up in a country that has knocked down the legal walls that once would have held you back, in a society that isn't yet free of the heavy hand of past injustice, but is itself a powerful engine of change. So if the Joshua generation was about coming into a brave new world, perhaps your generation will be about blazing paths along new frontiers. If the Joshua generation was about coming into the land, perhaps your generation will be about making it a truly blessed place. A story of how young people, born into times of great promise, shouldered their responsibilities and built mighty towers. But that is your story to write, not mine. I know you will write it well. Graduates, congratulations. I wish you great good luck and good fortune. Thank you so much for allowing me to share in this wonderful day. God bless you all.
Thank you, Ambassador Rice, for your inspiring remarks and for giving such great advice.